Good morning, saints. Good morning, saints. Good morning, saints. Good morning, saints. What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Now, y'all might want to kick off your shoes and relax your feet because we're going to be here for a little while. Okay? We'll be here for just a little while because I got to get all my things out, about this video. Like, I got so many videos to do today. Your boy gonna be busy today. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me. Eh, eh. Let me know if you can hear me. Y'all put a one in the chat if you can hear your boy. Put a one in the chat if you can hear your boy. Put a one in the chat if you can hear him, boy. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, good, 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 good. Well, first of all, good morning. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I hope you guys woke up in your right mind. All right. Breath in, well, if you type it in the chat, you have breath in your body. So listen, give the Lord the ultimate praise for waking you up and starting you on your way this morning. Huh? Hallelujah. We're gonna get into it, child, because Bishop Jakes. Come here, let me talk to you real quick, Bishop Thomas Dexter Jakes. Can you come in for just a second? Bishop Jakes. With the lawsuit already in the pipeline and you just decided that your legal team decided yesterday that it would just be I'm sorry because it's not funny, but the fact that he is under medical care and still was able to file this lawsuit. I again think your attorneys and your it's been bubbling up. It's been bubbling up. It didn't just start yesterday. I just need the people to understand that. I'm quite sure his legal team has been watching for quite some time. There were two parts done to the DUANE Youngblood interview. So for me, they've been watching, they have been listening. But the next question I have though, Bishop Thomas Dexter Jakes, is you gonna go after other people? Hmm. Or was Dwayne Youngblood offered to, not speak, but then he turned around and decided to speak anyway? Listen, I'm just asking because and to the people, I don't need y'all mad or nothing, but I'm just wondering what happened to Manasseh, Manasseh Jordan. What happened? Hmm. Well, anyway, we're gonna get into the whole document, child. We're gonna get into the whole document. We're gonna get into the 20-page document. Yes, indeed, we are. All right, so again, good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. No, Dwayne tried to extort him. Yeah, but Sheridan, it's been some other people, and I'm gonna shut up, but it's been some other people they have done uh, similar. They ain't never seen no lawsuit come down the pipeline. So it makes me wonder, did they reach out to Dwayne Youngblood and he decided to continue doing what he was doing? Because there's been a multitude of people who have come out and said and done some extortion. I'm gonna just leave it there though. I'm gonna just leave it there. Demi, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. It's called you know what it's called. You know what it's called. You know what it's called. Mm, you know what it's called. Okay. All right. So let me speak to y'all and then we're gonna get into everything. Let's see who up in here. Look at Tracy. Shout out to Tracy. Y'all know Tracy. Gotta give a huge shout out to Tracy because one thing Tracy gonna make sure is that her people's got what they need. All right. Shout out to Tracy. We appreciate you. What's up, Mike Jones? Who? Mike Jones? Yeah, maybe while he was sick, while he was laid up in the hospital, he said, we filing this lawsuit, baby. What's going on, Faith? What's going on, Sweet Burn? What's up, Miss Felicia? What's going on, Mama Bees? What's going on, Precious Jules? Demi Bell? Terry, I appreciate you for being here and modding. What's going on, Jasmine? Hey, Miss Lori. I see you, CC. What it do, boo? The other Miss Lori. I just love that I have two Miss Loris that's gone. Y'all gonna type like, is y'all the same person? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I know y'all not the same person, but it just be such a coincidence how both of y'all and both of y'all can be trying to get me together. You know what I'm saying? Actually, y'all do be getting me together, but it just be the way y'all be typing. Like, want to say good morning, then like four more people down, the other one saying good morning. But shout out to the Miss Lori's in the chat. What's going on, Ring Bass? How are you? Good morning, Sheridan. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Cookie Dough. What's going on? Good morning, Ham Sandwich. Good morning to you. Ty, good morning. Good morning, Creole Girl. Good morning. Yes, please. Please, please, please. I'm going to leave this up for just a second. Please, as we go through this live, please do not mention any CC's names. These are all the rules that I ask, okay? Do not mention any CC's name, no excessive use of emojis, and no caps, and no profanity. Be creative with your profanity, okay? All right, y'all got it. I'm gonna leave it up there just for a reminder for the people. Let's see who else is up in here. Ashley, I see you, baby. DK, I see you. Good morning. Let's see. Mama V, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Tuesday, but my Friday. Woo woo. Come on, Friday. What's up, Miss Stephanie? How you doing? Let's see who else up in here. Miss Lexi, I see you committed to the journey. I see you. IPV is in the house. I see you. Brown Mama, good morning. You are correct. That is, I'm wondering because Manasseh definitely spilled a lot of tea about Jakes. I'm just saying, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering where's all the other people who have done similar actions, if not worse. Because listen, I ain't gonna mention no names because I ain't trying to end up, in this situation. But I'm gonna just say this: it is some other people out there who have said and done some crazy stuff, and I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering what's the difference. But anyway, you know, never mind me. What's going on, T Lee? What's up, Teresa? What's up, Ty? What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning. Hopefully, I didn't skip over anybody. And if I did, please charge it to the fact that it's StreamYard and not my heart because I mean well. All right. All right, y'all. So we have the actual document. Okay, the actual court document. In which that we are going to go over. Okay, this is a 20-page document. This was filed yesterday, okay, a day after Bishop Jakes had his scare, his medical scare, okay. And you know what? I always wondered about us as Black people, and then us as Christian people, we kind of make it a little bit worse. I'm not saying that y'all gotta come out and tell what happened to the bishop, nothing like that. But y'all labeling this a medical scare, which makes me wonder. Yeah, I get it. Bishop Jakes may be under a lot of stress, but man of God, is you going to the doctor and stuff like you're supposed to do, man of God? Cause see, I said this yesterday, and I talked about it even when it comes to Marvin Winans. Is y'all going to the doctor like y'all supposed to be going to the doctor? Is you going to see about your body and your health as you supposed to? And I'm just wondering. I'm wondering, are y'all doing the proper things, or is your man pride standing in the way of the fact that you got to be smart? Okay, I don't know, but you know, huh, I guess it is what it is, honey. Okay, so let me get over here. So I'm gonna read it from my phone as well because I can see it better than on the laptop. So hold on. All right. Oh, I don't have it on the screen because this thumbnail is up here. Hold up. Hold up. Yeah, that's kind of hard to see, of course, and I haven't zoomed in on it, but I just want you guys to see who the plaintiff is and who the defendant is, as you can see on the document. So hold on one second, let me grab this. Also, at any point during this live stream, if you would like to bless the platform, the free way is by hitting that like button, of course. And if you would like to bless the catch app, okay, you may do so. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so it says the United States Court for the Western District of Pennsylvania. Okay, so this was filed in Pennsylvania, which is where I believe Youngblood resides. Thomas Dexter Jakes is the plaintiff versus Dwayne Youngblood and does 1 through 10 defendants. Okay, plaintiff Bishop Thomas Dexter, which is TD is short for Thomas Dexter Jakes, for the complaint against defendant Dwayne Youngblood and does 1 through 10 alleges the following. Now, I'm gonna tell you why a lot of people like to skip to the factual information about the lawsuit, and I'm going to skip to the factual information in just a minute, but I want to identify what the does 1 through 10 actually means. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm going to read it. Okay, I see y'all chatting in the comments. Okay, so the lawsuit sounds in the tort of defamation and civil conspiracy to commit defamation. The underlying story in this case depicts a carefully planned effort by a convicted criminal, and those acting in the court with him to rewrite history in order to deflect blame and accountability for his own criminal conduct and publicly smear a renowned, wait a minute, wait a minute. They outlined that he is a convicted criminal. So in case if you guys missed his testimony, I believe he had a parole, or because y'all gonna get me in a chat about parole and probation. Girl, I don't know the difference, and it's okay. You don't gotta explain it to me. But he had a violation, okay, and he had to go back to the place, to the slammer, because he violated one of those, probation or parole. I can't remember exactly which one it is. And the people, y'all gonna check me about it in the comments. I already know y'all. I know y'all too well. All right, so let's get into the parties. Plaintiff Bishop T.D. Jakes is a world renowned spiritual leader, global philanthropist, author, film, and music producer, and the founder of the Potter's House in Dallas, Texas. He is a U.S. citizen and resident of Dallas, Texas. Defendant Dwayne Youngblood is a registered sex offender in the state of Pennsylvania and two-time convicted felon related to sexual abuse of children. He he is a U.S. citizen and a resident of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. On information and belief, plaintiff alleges that defendants does 1 through 10 um, inclusive are the other parties not yet identified who have acted in concert and agreement with Youngblood in order to commit defamatory conduct against plaintiff and have committed acts in force of such wrongdoing. The true names, whether corporate, individual, or otherwise, of does 1 through 10 um, inclusive are, hold on, y'all. This writing is so hold on. Let me do it like this. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Girl, your boy, as they can say, barely can read anyway, but it don't do no good sitting up here reading some writing I can't really read. Okay, here we go. Okay, now it's in the face. Yes, thank you for the trigger warning. Thank you for all of the things. I appreciate y'all. Please again, make sure you mash that like button. Okay, where was I? Okay, the true names, whether corporate, individual, or otherwise, does 1 through 10 inclusive are apparently not fully known to plaintiff, which therefore sues said defendants by fictitious names and will seek to leave amend this complaint to show their true names and capacities when same have been exerted here in the lawsuit. So basically, what that is saying is that there are other people who just have not been named specifically in this lawsuit just yet. But this leaves the door open for other names to be included in this lawsuit. I'm no attorney, I'm no judge, I'm no nothing like that. And I ain't trying to give no advice. But I wanted to know what the does 1 through 10 means. And it means clearly, as we can see here, that there are some other people that could be named in this lawsuit. On the information of belief, plaintiff alleges that all times relevant here to each of the defendants acted in concert and agreement with each other for the objective of intentionally committing defamatory acts against the plaintiff, with full knowledge of all of the facts and circumstances included, but not limited to the full knowledge of the conduct at issue and the damages to plaintiff caused thereby. Okay, so it gives jurisdiction and venue. Okay, this court has subject matter jurisdiction over the action pursuant to, and of course, it's going to give the 28 USC, you know, because there is a complete diversity of citizenship among the parties, and the amount exceeds over $75,000, including interest. Okay, so that's why it's letting you know why it's filed in the courts that it's filed. Okay, all right, let's get into the factual allegations, baby. All right, Bishop Jakes is the visionary, charismatic, and devoted senior pastor of the Potter's House Church in Dallas, Texas, which has a global outreach and congregation exceeding 80,000 persons, a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, a bestseller author of 30 books, a producer of faith-focused music and films, a Grammy Award winner, a global humanitarian, and one of the most prominent and well-respected pastors and religious figures in the United States today. In 2009, for example, Bishop Jakes was selected to give the sermon that the St. John's Episcopal Church um, duty the Church of Presidents across Pennsylvania Avenue from the White House on the morning of President Obama's inauguration ceremony. From his humble roots as the pastor for the 10-member storefront church, Greater Emmanuel Temple of Faith, in Smithers, West Virginia. Smithers, did I say that right? Smithers, West Virginia, in the early 1980s to lead the okay, now more than 30,000 member Potter's House Church based in Dallas, Texas. He founded in 1996. Bishop Jakes has devoted his life to guiding others towards spiritual prosperity. He has inspired millions all over the world to live purposeful and spiritual lives. Uh-oh. Sorry, y'all. And his organization uh has developed and helped over millions over the globe. Okay. Sorry, I was reading a message that I just got. Okay, got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know who you are. Thank you. I appreciate it. For his countless contributions all over the world, Bishop Jakes has now been honored and recognized by some of the most influential global organizations and media outlets. He has been called America's best preacher by CNN and Time, perhaps the most influential Black leader in America today by The Atlantic, and regularly appears on lists of the most respected and influential leaders in America. He has been a spiritual advisor for the last 3 presidents. Wait a minute. You've been what for the last what? Okay, wait a minute. You've been a spiritual advisor for the last 3 presidents? Okay, let me count them. Hold on. Let me get my mathematicals out. Let me get my hands out and count on my hand. Wait a minute. Okay, so we say, okay, last three. Now we got Biden, who's still currently in office. Before that, we had Trump Keisha, and before that, we had Obama. So you was the spiritual leader for Trump Keisha too. Uh, okay, Bishop. Now your legal team got your slip showing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So you was the. Are y'all hearing this? Not specifically for Obama or not specifically for Biden, but the last three presidents, which means Trump. Child, I cannot, honey. Well, that gagged me a little bit, Bishop. Okay, well, he has been a spiritual advisor for the last three presidents. He is the recipient of numerous prestigious awards, including the NAACP Image Award in 2011. Bishop Jakes has been married to his wife Sarita for over 35 years and is a loving husband, father, and grandfather. Throughout his more than 40 years in the ministry, Bishop Jakes has maintained a stellar reputation for his faith, morals, ethics, and above all, devotion to his family and local and global communities he has built all over the world. Child. Defendant Dwayne Youngblood is convicted on multiple occasions for X offenses, including minors. So we're going to go ahead and get into this now. Again, this could be a trigger warning in case if you guys did not, um, hear what happened with Dwayne Youngblood. Here is where we get into those things, allegations. I'm going to say that. Jesus. Okay, something is going on with my IG. Okay, here we go. Get ready. In stark contrast, Dwayne Youngblood is registered as a lifetime ex-offender in the state of Pennsylvania and currently is under supervision by the state's Department of Parole with parole number, and they put that man's number on here. I'm not interested in it. Youngblood has repeatedly and uncontrollably actual, actually A-worded young children since at least 2002. On all occasions, Youngblood has pleaded guilty and admitted to his heinous crimes. In 2006, at the time pastor of the church of in Homestead, Youngblood was first arrested on charges for SA and corruption of minors and other charges. In that case, he was accused of SAing a 15-year-old in 2002 while counseling the boy. Okay, so again, y'all, this may be a little heavy, but we just kind of running down what he has been convicted for. Okay, remember that all things are alleged, and we just reading documents. Okay, we're just literally reading documents. The teen sought counseling from Youngblood because a cousin had already M-worded him, according to police affidavit. As a part of the plea deal, Youngblood was sentenced to a year of house arrest and 7 years of probation. Part of the plea deal prohibited Youngblood from counseling children. Despite the conviction, Youngblood was unsatisfied. In 2000, and ooh, baby, the way that Jake's legal team wrote this, Jesus. Despite this conviction, Youngblood was unsatisfied. In 2014, Youngblood was charged with inappropriately touching two teenage victims. In one instance, on about 25 occasions, while he was counseling the youth between 2009 and 2011. Well, I be got dog, young blood. With respect to that victim, counseling sessions in Youngblood's church office began with the victim when the victim was 16 years old and ended when the victim turned 18. At which point the victim told Youngblood that he no longer wanted to participate in counseling according to the criminal complaint. And another, Youngblood had sexual relations with a youth over a 3-week period. Youngblood pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 16 to 48 months in prison in 2015 and 3 years of probation. Nevertheless, while on parole, Youngblood conspires with others to harm and profit from attacks on prominent Black religious figures, including Bishop Jakes, as well as fully uh, embroidered herein. Okay, so it says Youngblood uses the reach of Larry Reed Live to publicly blame his own and horrific sexual abuse of minors and others, including Bishop Jakes, by accusing them of grooming, the M word, and SAing him decades ago. Okay, I'm gonna do something real quick. Y'all, I gotta unmonetize this video. And the reason why I say I gotta unmonetize this video is because I'm gonna slip up and say one of these words. I feel it. And it's not intentional, but let me just save YouTube the time. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm just gonna save them the time so they don't even have to worry about it. Cause it's kind of hard skipping over these words and you every other word you liable to slip up and say it. Okay. All right, it's done. On October the 28th of 2024, Youngblood set for over 2 hours long interview on Larry Reed Live (LRL), an online video podcast hosted by Larry Reed that boasts of having over 150,000 subscribers on YouTube alone. The October the 28th episode of LRL was broadcasted live to tens of thousands of online viewers on the Larry Reed Live YouTube and Facebook accounts. The episode was titled Larry Reed Live Interviews DUANE Youngblood, The Abused Becomes the Abuser. Youngblood began his interview by misleading viewers about the circumstances eh, of his convictions and incarcerations. Youngblood lied to LRL's viewers about the circumstances of his 2015 conviction, claiming that it was only because he was communicating with minors when he was not allowed to. The actual truth, which Youngblood concealed from LRL's audience, was that he violated his parole, not because he simply communicated with minors when he was not allowed to, but rather because he had been caught inappropriately touching two teen victims during the counseling session between 2009 and 2011, and of engaging in sexual abuse over a 3-week period with a teenage victim. Again, I'm just reading the documents, honey. Okay. And they have a footnote here, and the footnote just has the link to the interview. The interview later tuned, um, I'm sorry, the interview later turned to Youngblood's new claim, which, thank you. The interview later turned to Youngblood's new claim about how the source of his becoming an abuser was his own abuse at the hands of pastors and religious figures he encountered in his youth. After detailing instances of his own father actually abusing his sister and of his abuse at the hands of other church leaders, Youngblood turned his ire on Bishop Jakes. Okay. From the moment Youngblood brought up all the allegations about Bishop Jakes, roughly an hour into the interview, he and Mr. Reed spent almost the entirety of the rest of the interview on Bishop Jakes and Youngblood's claim that Bishop Jakes tried to groom and actually abuse him. Youngblood's story about Bishop Jakes on October the 28th episode of LRL was that when the now 58-year-old Youngblood was 18 or 19 years of age, Bishop Jakes, after talking to Youngblood for 2 hours at the home of an elderly clergywoman where Bishop Jakes was staying while supporting a local church revivals program, wrapped his arms around Youngblood and tried to kiss him. After sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally looked at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness. Now, this is Youngblood in the interview. He's like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to unalive me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up, and I got to get up from the table. He got up from the table. He walked around towards the way, and I had to exit quicker than I got over. Then I got over there, and when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. Next, according to Youngblood, Bishop Jakes called Youngblood the following morning. In the morning, I stepped into our bathroom and my home phone rings. My mother answers the phone and she says to me, DUANE, it's Elder Jakes. Jakes and I get on the phone. And when I get on that telephone, I can hear water. He is sitting in a bathtub. And in that thing, he says to me without any hesitation, there's three things that I need you to do. The first one is when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only person I sleep with. The second one is you can't sleep with anybody else because I don't want to give my wife anything. And thirdly, I will take care of you for the rest of your life. That was a lot, y'all. That was a lot. So basically, what they're doing is they're asserting what he said in the interview with Larry Reed, and this was eye-catching for a lot of people. Not only was the part where he said Jake's pulled him into him, but when he said that when he comes to Pittsburgh, he is the only person that he can sleep with, and also saying that, oh, I don't want to give my wife anything at all either. That is bizarre. That is crazy. And again, I think that that was the thing that caught a lot of people's attention, because I know that's what caught my attention. I was like, now wait. You said what now? You said what? Okay. All right. So, child, we got some more to go. I told y'all kick off your shoes, relax your feet, baby, because we getting on into the TD Jakes beat, because baby, he said I'm filing a lawsuit while I'm in on the sick bed. Okay. Youngblood then went to describe how he did not tell his mother what happened, but that she made him go to church service, that she made him go to church services that night, where Bishop Jakes was not only preaching, but called up Youngblood to the pulpit to read for him. Youngblood ended his story by claiming that there is so much more to me and Bishop Jakes and my family and Bishop Jakes in the absolute destructive sexual damage, but this thing was so extremely damaging. Okay, shout out to Snatch by Diego. That's right, kick them shoes off, kick them shoes off. Later on in the October 28th LRL episode, Youngblood described an encounter with Bishop Jakes where years later he had to drive Bishop Jakes and his wife to a hotel after a conference. According to Youngblood, he accompanied Bishop Jakes and his wife back to the hotel room. And after Miss Jakes went to sleep, Youngblood confronted Bishop Jakes and asked him, "Why did you do what you did?" To which Bishop Jakes responded, "My shock was rising." and I would have had sex with anybody at that time. Well, I'll be God. Jesus. No wonder why. Ooh, hold on. I got to swig of my coffee. Ooh, ooh, mercy, Lord. Ooh, mercy, Lord. Ooh, I gotta read that one more time. My good God. Later on in the October the 28th LRL episode, because I missed this, Youngblood described an encounter with Bishop Jakes where years later he had to drive Bishop Jakes and his wife to a hotel after a conference. According to Youngblood, he accompanied Bishop Jakes and his wife back to the hotel room. And after Bishop Jakes went to sleep, Youngblood confronted Bishop Jakes and asked him, "Why did you do what you did?" To which Bishop Jakes responded, "My shock was rising and I would have had sex with anybody at the time." Girl, girl. Yes, this is Jericho James. Y'all over here flabbergasted a little bit because golly, I missed that. I missed that part. Let's keep going. Less than a week later, on November the 3rd of 2024, Youngblood returned to LOL for a part two. Larry Reid live interviews Dwayne Youngblood. The abused becomes the abuser. And part two, Youngblood doubled down on the same false story. And this time, he made sure that all of LRL viewers knew that he was not just accusing Bishop Jakes of trying to begin a sexual relationship with him, but rather that his story was one of actual abuse. When pressed by Reid to further describe how his allegation that Bishop Jakes violated groomed him was predatory in nature, Youngblood made it clear that he was accusing Bishop Jakes of attempting sexual assault. So let's get into this. Now, this is again an excerpt from the live stream. When it comes to Bishop Jakes, when I was sharing the story the other day, I was just running through the story, but I want to make sure people are very clear. I said that we were sitting at a dining room table and I looked at my watch and said, I've got to get back. I've got to get up and get out of here because I've got to get my mother's car back to her. But what may have been misunderstood is that Bishop Jakes got up, came around the table, and positioned himself in the corner that I had to walk past. When I was walking past that corner, he grabbed me. There's no reason if you're going to just give me a hug as we're leaving, go to the door with me and let's hug it out and let me go out the door. We are not at the door. We are still in the dining room and he is in the corner, grabbed me to himself, looked down into my face, and then tried to bend his head down to kiss me on my lips. This is not, oh, I'm sorry. That is not, you didn't get what you wanted to get. Now, girl, ooh, okay. Youngblood then doubled down and described again the phone call that he claimed that he had with Bishop Jakes, just as he did on our October 28th interview, stating, Lord, this is this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. Okay. Youngblood then doubled down and described again the phone call that he claimed that he had with Bishop Jakes, just as he did on October the 28th interview. In part two, Mr. Reid also makes clear exactly what Youngblood was accusing Bishop Jakes of doing, starting at the 39-minute mark that Bishop Jakes violated and groomed you. And Youngblood doubled down on his claims that Bishop Jakes did this to Youngblood because his stock was rising and he would have slept with anybody. Jesus. For his part, Reid went into great lengths to try to bluster Youngblood's credibility, claiming in part two that Youngblood feels honest to read, and it doesn't feel that you're mad. You don't seem mad at all, and you don't feel like you're trying to get anybody back. You just telling the story, to which Youngblood nods and agrees throughout. Girl, woo. Y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all come on up in here. Uh, cause I ain't realized the depths of this lawsuit. I did not. I did not. Um, Mind you, this is my first time reading it. Um, this is in the court papers. Yes, I'm literally reading the lawsuit, and I just have this page up here because it's hard to see. But I'm reading from my phone. Like damn, they have the detail. Yeah, 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 they do. Hey, Bama girl. Hey to everybody that came in that I didn't get a chance to speak to. I hope you all are well. All right, where was I? Okay, for his part, Reed went to. Okay, I read that. I read that. I read that. Youngblood's intent and motive for making these allegations would be made absolutely clear with the financial demands weeks later, as more fully elaborated herein. Okay, so they are going to elaborate on that hearing. All right, Youngblood accusations on Larry Reid Live about Bishop Jakes are false, and he knew it when he made them. All right, so we're on line 32. From start to finish, Youngblood's tale of grooming and attempted SA at the hands of Bishop Jakes is false. Bishop Jakes never kissed or tried to kiss Youngblood. Never coerced him or forced him into any situation, sexually or otherwise. And certainly, he never told him that he wanted to sleep with him and had any conversations of any sexual nature at all with him. The interactions described by Youngblood during the LRL interview on October the 28th and November the 3rd never happened, period. So basically, they're saying that everything that Youngblood said in that interview was a lie. Okay. Indeed, the very context and nature of Youngblood's accusations rendered them unbelievable. Youngblood uh, have served years for M-wording and S-ing minors that he himself was supposed to counsel and mentor through his church. Is a desperate attempt to um bring up, to rehabilitate his image, honey, um and build a new ministry for himself. Mm, Side note, let me say this. I think I do think that Youngblood's credibility is shot. And the reason why I say your credibility is shot, because we attempted to owe abuser, or the abused becomes the abuser. Yeah, but we're not gonna skate past the fact that this man actually did these things and that he was actually convicted for these things. That's one thing we cannot skate over. Okay. That's one thing we cannot skate over. And this lawsuit extensively says over and over repeatedly, if you hear the jargon, if you hear the wording, they're basically saying you can't be trusted. Period. That's really all they trying to say, is you cannot be trusted because of your past and because of the things you have been found guilty of. That's what they're saying right here. Okay. All right. I just wanted to throw that in there. Indeed, the very context and nature of Youngblood's accusations render. Okay, I read that. Sorry. Youngblood, having served several years for M-wording and essaying minors that he himself was supposed to counsel or mentor through his church, in a desperate attempt to rehabilitate his image and build a new ministry for himself. His playbook is clear. Accuse what seems to be very accuse what seems to be every other prominent church leader he has ever met of grooming and preying on him, and then blame them for his own criminal predatory conduct after he has been fully released from prison as a two-time convicted felon and a lifetime registered ex-offender. Indeed, his blatant lies to Larry Reed Live's viewers about the circumstances of his own convictions and are proof that this is all just one big lie to try to rewrite history for his own personal gain. So basically, they're saying he's projecting this story that he keeps coming up with is probably a story that he did to someone else. That's basically what they're saying. They basically saying his past, his past is in reference to what he's accusing others of doing. That's basically what they're saying. I heard this guy was a predator, but there are folks who would take advantage of sins and use it against them to get their way with them, in my opinion. Oh, absolutely. I'm a committed to journey. I'm a firm believer of that. Yeah, I'm a firm believer of that in multiple ways, and I won't go into it, but yeah. Youngblood's October the 28th and November the 3rd appearances falsely targeting and attacking Bishop Jakes goes viral. Just as a Youngblood hoped on his October the 28th, where I'm gonna say this, I was one who did recap the the first part of the interview. I didn't get to the second part. I ain't gonna hold you. As I think after going over the first part, I realized some things, and yeah, I'll just leave it there. Just as Youngblood hoped on, his October the 28th and November the 3rd appearances went viral. Part one has over 120,000 views, making it one of the most viewed LRL episodes in history. Oh, wow. Even though it has been posted for less than a month. And part two has garnered over 25,000 views since it was posted on November the 3rd. Moreover, clips featuring Youngblood's false story about Bishop Jakes to Larry Reed Live YouTube accounts attracted tens of thousands of more views. So basically saying it got its way on social media. The LRL interview where was also posted all over Larry Reed Live's social media accounts, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, where they generally hundreds of thousands, where they generally garner thousands, hundreds and thousands of additional views, as well as Larry Reed's website, LarryReedLive.com, where they titled, or I'm sorry, where they tailed even more more views. All right, hold on. The spread of Youngblood's false allegations are as Lord have mercy. Sorry, y'all. Okay, there we go. That's the footnote. Okay, the spread of Youngblood's false allegations, as expected, did not stop with just Larry's social media and online platforms. Youngblood's story went viral, okay, being republished, reposted, and commented on by numerous other social media users and influencers. For examples, news breaks, which boast of over 20 million monthly reads, published at least five separate stories on Youngblood's accusations against Bishop Jakes. And in a footnote, y'all, they include every last one of those articles. I mean, in a clear footnote. And let me tell you how clear the footnote is. They have made every last one of the links clickable in this document. Okay? They ain't playing around there. Every last one of those stories, they have put a clickable link to. Youngblood's false accusations were republished by other YouTubers and TikTok influencers to hundreds of thousands of additional viewers. All told, it's likely that over 1 million people have been exposed to Youngblood's lies about Bishop Jakes. Youngblood remains an attorney, retains an attorney with a history of filing frivolous lawsuits against prominent black celebrities and proceeds to try and extort millions from Bishop Jakes. Okay, so before I get into this piece, okay, because we really got to buckle down on this one right here, okay, and I will also tell y'all too, y'all can't, you know what? Let me see if I can at least put this on the page so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Okay, y'all see right down here at the bottom of this page. Let me remove Terry's comment for now. Okay, y'all see that? Can y'all see that? And you may have to zoom in on your phone to actually see it, but I'm just pointing out the fact that they do have clickable links to every one of these articles. Okay. All right, so let's get into the second piece. Please make sure you guys hit the like button. If you'd like to bless the platform, you guys know how to do so. Again, I appreciate you all for being here. What's going on, Omar? And what's going on, God's child? I see y'all coming on up in here. All right, so let's get into this. All right, and incredibly, the defendant's malicious efforts to smear Bishop Jake's reputation was only part of the plan. Of course, their motivation was also deeply rooted in financial gain, an immediate financial gain. Days after the second podcast on information and belief, the defendants retained a lawyer in New York to represent Youngblood in a blatant attempt at a money grab. The letter dated for November the 15th of 2024, a lawyer um, okay. The letter, dated November the 15th of 2024, a lawyer to represent Youngblood demanded that Bishop Jakes pay Youngblood $6 million in order to resolve this matter quickly and privately. Otherwise, Youngblood will bring a lawsuit against Bishop Jakes for SA and harassment. Well, I be god dog. I don't think that went well. I don't think it went well for you, baby. I don't think that one went well for you. Well, mm, well. So basically, it's saying that he obtained an attorney in New York who represents celebrities in frivolous lawsuits, and they thought that this was going to be a. They thought that they were going to be able to get ahead of this. Well, I don't know. Maybe Dwayne Youngblood thought that if Bishop had that scare on Sunday, baby, that he wasn't going to be able to put anything in on Monday. But you were fools, okay? Because he went straight around there, his legal team, to say what they needed to say, sir. My lord. All right. So the motivation of the demand was clear: pay millions of dollars, otherwise, the podcast strategy and other similar tactics of attempting to publicly harass and shame Bishop Jakes would continue. Fundamentally, federal criminal law punishes blackmail. Anyone who either demands or receives money or any other valuable thing under the threat of informing or as a consideration for not informing against any violation of U.S. law, and then of course it gives the law number, is committing a crime. Further, both both the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and then of course it gives a number, and federal criminal law, it gives the number, punish attempts extortion such as the money grab, which is no different from any old-fashioned robbery attempt. So basically, they're saying the money grab strategy is no different from a robbery attempt. Ah, wow. You know, real quick side note. Um, Come on, DUANE. You had to be smarter than that. You had to be smarter than that. I'm quite sure you was listening to attorneys tell you what to do in a situation like this, but listen, none of us was really there, so we don't really know what happened and what did not happen. Okay. But the way that they are wording this lawsuit, DUANE Youngblood, I wish you nothing but the best, because child, they chewed you. Okay. Um, Here, the section of the attorney was part of the scheme because Youngblood needed to obtain counsel who was either familiar with or experienced in tactics to bring actual assault claims decades old that have no merit or have no relief under the law. For example, the same attorney commenced an action in California against rapper T.I. and his wife, Tiny Harris, accusing them of essaying a woman in 2005. Oh Lord! So you went round there and got what's his name? Oh, you went around there and got Chef. You think Youngblood going to call Manasseh to tell his story? Now Manasseh need to get somewhere and set his ass down at this point. Well, wait a minute though, Tracy. Help me with something. What was the attorney's name? I could just go to the bottom of this document. I ain't got to do that. Oh no. What? Somebody help me. What was the attorney? Blackburn, Black Mile, Black and Mile. What's his name? God dog it, Black. I said Black and Mile. We know it's not Black and Mile. What is that man's name? Thank you, Tyrone. What's his last name? Black something. Jesus. Let me see. I gotta Google it, or otherwise it's gonna worry me. And wasn't he the same one that put that lawsuit out against Diddy and Blackburn? Thank y'all so much, because that was gonna get me. Okay, Tyrone Blackburn. That's who you went around there and got. Okay, okay. Well, alrighty then. Okay, where was I? Okay, I read that part. Accusing a woman of no, 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 no. In August of 2024, the U.S. District Court Judge Sherlyn Peace Garnett dismissed the lawsuit. The rapper stated that these allegations were false and were part of many salacious allegations put forth in order to extort money from them. The same playbook is at work when it comes to Bishop Jakes. However, Youngblood miscalculated Bishop Jakes' intentions to fight back. Yeah, you definitely miscalculated that. Bishop Jakes brings this actions to hold Youngblood accountable for uh, spreading lies, okay, and spreading manufactured stories of actual abuse, is what it says, okay. Youngblood spread knowingly false accusations about one of the most respected and prominent religious figures, and he did so for the most morally corrupt reasons, to rehabilitate his own image, explain away his own criminal and horrific sexual conduct, and ultimately to profit significantly. The financial harm Youngblood's knowingly false accusations have caused Bishop Jakes are monumental and devastating, honey. It says that Bishop Jakes has been the spiritual rock for millions of Christians all over the world, particularly the African American community. Youngblood's viral allegations that Bishop Jakes groomed, preyed on, and sexually abused and assaulted him uh, Then a younger minister have tarnished Bishop Jakes' reputation. Hundreds of thousands of not, if not more, have seen and heard Youngblood's accusations, and because of the lies Youngblood and his co-conspirators have told to bluster his credibility, the viewers are likely to believe Youngblood's knowingly false story. Not me, not me. I wasn't one who was all in and believing that. I wasn't, because again, I have to see where this is coming from. You see what I'm saying? And you got a past of doing these things. And it ain't to say that people can't grow, get better, and do the right thing. But given this lawsuit and reading it thus far and hearing the first part of the interview, it is very evident to me, that again, it was a money grab. But again, I don't understand how you thought that you can grab some money with the past that you have. I don't really think you want to relive those things. And you filing a suit against him, against Bishop Jakes, was going to make you relive everything that you went through, because they was going to dig all that stuff up, and they still plan to. So I don't really think that was smart of you. I really don't. I don't think it was smart of you, because your past is going to be brought up and it is going to be used against you in a form and in a way that I'm quite sure you're not really ready for. My question is, if they knew this guy was a sexual predator, why did they allow him to deal with the youth in the church? Well, um, you kind of gotta listen to the whole thing to realize it, but committed to the journey. There are people who unfortunately who are in this church world, this Christian world, this world in which a lot of those things are always overlooked. I feel like I went to a church where I was just getting ready to get there too. I went to a church where, in order to work with the children, you had to literally pass a background check. There was no way that you can work with the children and you have things on your record. It just never it and I think that that should be the case. I don't care how big or how small your church is. The one thing about it is there should never be kids present in any way, shape, or form. And I don't give a who don't like it. There should never be kids in any way, shape, or form, or someone leading the children in any way, shape, or form who's been accused of doing these types of things. I don't quite understand why these churches do not have these things in place. There should always be, in my opinion, there should always be a background check, and I mean an extensive background check, because I need to know who and what is being done to my children. When those children are not in your sight, you do not know what's going on. So that's one of the reasons why I'm steered away from the church, because it's the excuses and the things that are made for people like this to continue to be in high places. I told you guys of a story, and I ain't lying about this story, and they ain't putting no names out there, so can't nobody get me for it. But there was an experience that I went through where someone violated me. I went and told someone in the church that I thought could do something about it, because this person was over the youth department. And I'm quite sure if you did it to me, there were others that you did it to. But instead of them taking the accountability and whatever necessary steps that they needed to, they wanted to set me down. How you gonna set me down, honey? And I instantly left that church. I ain't gonna play no games with y'all. And you know what the pastor told me? I don't think I ever said this to anybody. The pastor told me I was leaving based off of my own emotions. Sir, if you don't get out of my face, I could have slapped it out of him that day. When we had that meeting, And I wasn't all the way saved in. I was a young boy. So, I about cussed that man out because what you not supposed to do, you're not supposed to try to throw it up in my face as to what you think. And then they wanted to sit me down and read that Battlefield of the Minds book by what's the name? Y'all know, but it's a book called The Battlefield of the Minds. And what they wanted me to do was they wanted me to come to church. Y'all hear me out when I say this. They wanted me to get up and come to church at 5 o'clock every morning to read this book with them. I wish the hell I would. I wish I would. Joyce Myers, thank you. Thank you. It has slipped my mind. I wish I would. And I'm telling y'all, 5 o'clock every morning. And one of the ministers was like, well, I figured if we stop and get you donuts every morning, you would definitely come around here. First of all, I don't give a damn about no donut. I don't care about no donut. We just talking about you give me a donut. I don't care about no donut. But it just goes to show you that this stuff really does happen. Now, DUANE, Youngblood, sir. I don't know, sir. I don't know. I had to respell his name right, y'all. I had spelled his name wrong. Okay, let's get back into this. I ain't trying to make this about me or nothing like that. I was just using that as an example to show that a lot of this stuff just be swept up under the rug. And this is why I have a problem with our black preachers, because it's almost like they preach on the things that they want to preach on, but you don't ever hear them talking about the things that they should be held accountable for, that they are doing behind closed doors or within the pulpit to other people. Yeah, y'all unfortunately got to be called out for the shenanigans that y'all participate in. That's just what it is. And let me just say this: your pastor, if your pastor's doing some of this stuff and you still attend these churches, I'ma say it, and you're not gonna like what I'm about to say. You are very complicit, especially if you know. Did you hear what I said? If you still a member at some of these churches and you know exactly what's going on, because a lot of people just choose to shut up about it. You know exactly what's going on. You are just as complicit. And I said what I said. Period. Now, Omar, you gonna have to go back and look up who this Youngblood person is. He was a preacher touching on the children. So he's been charged for it. So that ain't alleged, honey. There was some charges for it. He pleaded guilty. So it ain't alleged. But anyway, I said what I said. Y'all just as complicit. You still being a member, you still giving your tithes, you still giving free will offerings, you're just as complicit. And I said what I said. And who gonna check me about it? All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so the financial harm Youngblood's knowingly false accusations have caused Bishop Jakes a okay, I read that part actually. In addition, and even more devastating than the millions of dollars in harm that Youngblood has caused, Youngblood's lies have put in jeopardy the critical philanthropic mission that Bishop Jakes spearheads, and has likely impaired significantly the benefits that the recipients of such efforts have received. And Youngblood's intentional malicious lies have taken a substantial emotional and physical toll on Bishop Jakes. Baby, when y'all get ready to hear this next part, I ask y'all to go ahead and clutch y'all imaginary pearls. Just clutch them. I'm telling you to clutch them now. Okay? Because y'all see what they just did here. Okay? I told you, I believe that the attorneys already had this drawn up. I do believe that. And I do believe that once Y'all, once that happened to Bishop Jakes Sunday in church, it was a definite stamp on the fact that they could go ahead and add this to the lawsuit. So when I get ready to read you this next part, I want you to again clutch your pearls. Chef Donna has the Jakes family sued the young lady who wants her child back. No, they haven't. They haven't. And she's begged them to do certain things. I mean, All right. So here we go. In addition to, and even more devastating, the millions of okay, I read that part. On November the 24th, the day before he filed this action, Bishop Jakes suffered a medical crisis on stage in the middle of his Sunday service in front of his entire church. That was not left out of this lawsuit on purpose, y'all. That was put in here on purpose, strategically put in here on purpose. And I knew before I read this, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I didn't listen to nobody's coverage in regards to this. I didn't even listen to Larry's coverage in regards to this yesterday because I was live about Martell. So I didn't hear anybody's coverage on this. But I'm gonna read that one more time because that is strategic work. Let me go back. On November the 24th, the day before he filed this action, Bishop Jakes suffered a medical crisis on stage in the middle of Sunday service in front of his entire church. I knew they was going to use it. I just knew it. I just had a feeling that just bubbled up inside of me that they was going to use this, and I was right. Bishop Jakes believes with his heart that the actual victims of SA should be treated with the utmost respect, kindness, empathy, and sympathy. And the true perpetrators of such abuse should be held accountable for their actions. But that is not the case here. Youngblood has used and abused the might of social media and the legal process to re-victimize those he preyed on and harmed, and to make knowingly false accusations for his own personal financial gain. Men like Youngblood must be held accountable for their abuse of the system and for setting back those with legitimate and real allegations of sexual abuse. Bishop Jakes brings this lawsuit to hold men like Youngblood accountable for their shameful acts and to set the record straight. It goes on to say, okay, so that was the actual factual in regards to it. It was placed and already prepared. Yeah. That's what I was saying. It was definitely placed in there to be strategic. Um, which is why I say, because it's a lot of people that was like, oh, he filed the suit one day after the incident happened. I believe it was already drawn up, baby. They just needed to put a stamp on it, and that was a stamp, because what that shows is that, okay, now DUANE Youngblood is causing mental health issues, regular health issues, all kinds of things with the lies and things that he has been saying, according to Bishop Jakes. So I strategically knew they was going to use that. Now, your last part of your comment, Brown Mama, I'm a hush, okay? I'm a hush. um So there were people that, okay, Brown Mama. So this is my biggest suggestion. I believe the video is still up. Can one of the mods go to Larry's page and see if that video is still up? And I'm talking about the first part of the interview. If that interview is up, there are moments where there's a couple people in the chat who are saying that Youngblood is not lying at all. For those of you that was in that chat that night, I'm not making that up. I'm not making that up. There were several people in the chat that said that man wasn't lying, that was there to vouch for his stories. Now that I will say, I will give him that. There were people in the chat that said that they have known him for years and said that he was not lying. And again, if you watch the video, you know I'm not lying either. Okay. All right. So let's get into this. First claim for relief. I was in the chat, but I don't remember names. I don't really remember the names either. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate it. They're going to the interview. I figured that Larry wasn't going to take it down. But you can go over there and you can look. And in that live, they kept saying that. I was on that live. That's why I would love to hear from them. I mean, if they were smart, they'd shut up. I'm just saying. If they were smart, they'd be quiet. They wouldn't say nothing else. Yeah, I wouldn't say nothing else. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, Tracy is quick. Check IG. Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. Right here. Oh, wait. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait. Okay. I have the phone call recorded when his fixer called to find out what amount Youngblood wanted. I also have all evidence from other accusers. That's why he ain't filed against me, because he knows better. Now, I said that in the beginning of this call, didn't I? I mean, in the beginning of this live. I said that. I said that. Wait, you sent me something else? Let me know if you send me something else. Let me know if you send me something else. Now that came from Larry Reed, y'all. That came from Larry Reed. Shout out to Pam Esquire. Was a comment that was left in her chat. And that was the comment that he left. Now I told y'all, granted of how I feel about this lawsuit, I am wondering why other lawsuits have not been filed, because there has been forms of extortion that has taken place. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What is it about Youngblood? Is it the fact that he has this past that he has? You see what I'm saying? I'm listen. We shall see. We shall see, honey. No, I'm looking in the comments. That's going to take a little minute. Okay, got it. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Okay. So let's get into this next piece. Okay, so it says first claim for relief, liable per SE against defendant DUANE Youngblood. And it says Bishop Jakes repeats, realleges and incorporates the above paragraphs as though fully set forth herein. On October the 28th of 2024 and November the 3rd of 2024, Youngblood gave a live interview on Larry Live Show in which he accused Bishop Jakes of grooming him, of SAing him, and over other predatory conduct of sexual nature. The shows were titled Larry Reed Interviews DUANE Youngblood, The Abused Becomes the Abuser. On 11/3 of 2024, Part 2, Larry Reed Live Interviews DUANE Youngblood, The Abuse Becomes the Abuser. Now, I'm going to say this. I want to know who these co-conspirators are. I want to get to the bottom of it. Who are these co-conspirators? Because I would like to know. I would honestly like to know. Hey y'all, all due respect, y'all try to type without caps, because it does flag YouTube when you type with all caps and you put excessive amounts of emojis. So if we could, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So, in addition to general accusations of SA against Bishop Jakes, the October the 28th Larry Reid live broadcast also includes the following specific statements by Youngblood. So let's get into it, y'all. After sitting there and having this long disclosure with him, I finally looked at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to unalive me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up. And I got up from the table. He got up from the table. He walked around toward the way, and I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me, and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. It goes on to say that Jakes and I get on that phone, and when I get on the telephone, I can hear water. Okay, the name was Brian Williams. Okay, he said, "Shout out to Tracy, I appreciate you." He said, "Richard Youngblood, I call no names, but I know DUANE's story to be true." So you have to be addressing somebody in the chat about this story to be true, but that was the name. That was the name. Larry is not named in this lawsuit. Nope, nope. And I think if Larry was named in this lawsuit, it would specifically name him and not name him as a co-conspirator because of the simple fact they're referencing his lives, they're referencing things that took place. So yeah, he's not named in this. Where was I? He is sitting in a bathtub, and in that thing, he says to me without any hesitation, there's three things I need you to do. The first one is, when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only person I sleep with. First of all, that's your business. You don't need to be telling me that. I don't care. I don't care if you go to sleep with the world. If I mean, I'm just saying, if these things were said, come on now. They implied Larry in the lawsuit, but yeah. And they referenced him, of course, because this is the platform that he used to do this talking. The second one is, you can't sleep with anybody else because I don't want to give my wife anything. That would be your business and your business only. How dare you come out here and tell me who I can sleep with? Again, I'm just saying, if these statements are true, how dare you come out here and tell me who I can sleep with? That's your business. You shouldn't be sleeping around, and you wouldn't have to worry about taking nothing to your wife. Again, just allegedly. And just going based off of what this is. And in that moment, I literally died. Oh, read the wrong one. And the second thing is, you can't sleep with anybody else. I don't want to give my wife anything. And thirdly, I will take care of you for the rest of your life. There is so much more to me and Bishop Jakes and my family and Bishop Jakes and the absolute destructive sexual damage. But this thing was so extremely damaging. In addition to the general accusations of sexual abuse against Bishop Jakes, the November the 3rd Larry Reid live broadcast also includes the following specific statements by Youngblood about Bishop Jakes. When it comes to Bishop Jakes, when I was sharing the story the other day, I'm just running through the story, but I want to make sure that people are very clear. I said that we were sitting at a dining room table, and I looked at my watch and said that I have to get up and get out of here because I've got to get my mother's car back to her. But what may have been misunderstood is that Bishop Jakes got up, came around the table, and positioned himself in the corner that I had to walk past. When I was walking past the corner, he grabbed me. There is no reason, if you're going to just be giving me a hug as we were leaving. Go to the door with me and let's hug it out, and let me go out the door. We are not at the door. We are still in the dining room, and he is in the corner. grabbed me to himself, looked down into my face, and then tried to bend his head down to kiss me on my lips. That is not a you don't get what you wanted to get. When I got home the next day, I'm not gonna reread that. That's between the phone call and the other stuff. Okay. Um, I think this will never make it to court. We shall see. Yeah, we definitely shall see because and shout out to the man church disease. Thank you for being present. We shall see for sure. Now, again, I'm not going over that thing because I didn't say it about 4 or 5 times in this lawsuit. Now, the full interviews were posted to Larry Reed Live's YouTube and Facebook accounts and to the LarryReedLive.com website. Clips of the interview featuring Youngblood's accusations of grooming SA and uh, the other SA and other predatory conduct were also posted to Larry Reed Live YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok and Instagram accounts. All of these posts went out to a worldwide audience and were viewed by viewed hundreds of thousands of times. Okay, this is some crazy stuff. Okay, this is crazy. Lays out for me some more detail. I think it's wild shaking my head. I'm almost there. I'm almost there too. Youngblood statements on October the 28th and November the 3rd episodes of Larry Reed Live, individually and taken as a whole, intended to convey and were understood by viewers as conveying the factual accusations that Bishop Jakes groomed, sexually abused, sexually assaulted, and engaged in predatory conduct of a sexual nature with Youngblood. Youngblood's statements on the October the 28th and November the 3rd episodes of Larry Reed Live are false and defamatory. Youngblood's statements on the October the 28th and November the 3rd episodes of Larry Reed Live are liable per SE, and in that they expose Bishop Jakes to hold on. I may need to go on down now. Okay, I'm finna go down to 60. That's what I'm finna do. Because I feel like that's just repeating what we've already talked about. Okay. Youngblood published his statements on October the 28th and I'm sorry, November the 3rd episodes of Larry Reed Live with actual malice. In that he was aware at the time of the publication that the statements were false. Oh, and at a minimum had a high degree of awareness that the statement was probably false. In addition to knowing his statements were false when he made them, because he was the first-hand witness to his interactions with Bishop Jakes and knows that he was never groomed, sexually assaulted, sexually abused, or preyed on in any way by Bishop Jakes. Youngblood's statements were also made with reckless disregard of the truth. For example, Youngblood had financial and other motives to lie, as evidenced by his demand for millions of dollars from Bishop Jakes and his attempt to rehabilitate his image and recast himself as a sexual abuse victim instead of a predator in order to revive his ministry. Youngblood is a convicted felon and ex-offender. Youngblood's claims are inherently, uh, in particular, his claims about the follow-up conversation with Bishop Jakes. Youngblood's false and defamatory statements about Bishop Jakes were made in furtherance of and to fit within the storyline Youngblood needed in order to rehabilitate his image as a sex offender and a felon, and to demand millions from Bishop Jakes. Okay, thank you for putting Mad Church Disease link in here, Terry. I appreciate that. All right, Youngblood had no applicable privilege or legal authorization to make these false and defamatory statements, or if he did, he abused it. As a direct and proximate result of the publication of this false and defamatory statement on the October the 28th and November 3rd episodes of Larry Reid Live, Bishop Jakes has suffered substantial injury to his reputation. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting because he said line 67. So we almost there. Youngblood's defamatory statements were accompanied with malice and a desire to cause injury. Youngbloods purposefully made the defamatory statements and with reckless, willful interference. Indifference to Bishop Jakes' rights. Bishop Jakes is therefore entitled to actual presumed punitive and other damages as well. Okay, let's get on down here. Second claim of relief. Bishop Jakes repeats, alleges, and incorporates the above paragraphs as though fully set forth herein. Okay, here we go. This is line 67. On information and belief, Youngblood and those acting in concert with him, the co-conspirators, worked together to publish and broadcast the false claims that Bishop Jakes groomed him and sexually assaulted Youngblood on a podcast reaching over 100,000 persons, knowing that making such false claims on a podcast that reaches such a broad audience of listeners would harm Bishop Jakes. To wit, co-conspirator one falsely claimed in sum and substance during the podcast that Bishop Jakes had engaged in settlement discussions with Youngblood regarding his claims. Well, I'll be god dog. I wouldn't be damned if you just Tracy. The way I just clutch my pearls. The way I just clutch my pearls. Did y'all hear that? Let me read that again. On information and belief, Youngblood and those acting in concert with him, i.e., the co-conspirators, worked together to publish and broadcast the false claim that Bishop Jakes groomed and sexually assaulted Youngblood on a podcast reaching over 100,000 persons, knowing that making such false claims on a podcast that reaches such a broad audience of listeners would harm Bishop Jakes. To wit, co-conspirator one falsely claimed in sum and substance during the podcast that Bishop Jakes had engaged in settlement discussions with Youngblood regarding his claims. Wow. On information and belief, this statement by a co-conspirator number one was done intentionally in order to give credence and credibility to Youngblood's false statements, even though co-conspirator number one was aware that the efforts by Bishop Jakes to pay Youngblood to avoid him making such statements known, knowing that they were false. My Lord, today we almost done, y'all. Whew. The first podcast occurred on October the 28th of 2024, while Youngblood and his co-conspirators made false statements to harm Bishop Jakes in that broadcast. On information and belief, the defendants aimed to maximize their efforts by launching a second broadcast on November the 3rd of 2024, meant to sharpen and clarify the false statements for maximum impact. For example, Youngblood in sum and substance attempted to more clearly target his false claim of sexual assault against Bishop Jakes by stating in sum and substance that Bishop Jakes restrained him from forcibly kissing him, as opposed to the first podcast interview where Youngblood alleges that they embraced at the end of hours-long, wide-ranging conversation about faith and life parents. Jesus, lamb. Due to Youngblood and his co-conspirators' defamatory acts, Bishop Jakes has suffered general and specific damages in the amount to be established at trial. On the information and belief, Youngblood alleges that the defendants in each of them have committed defamatory acts and acts in furtherance of against Bishop Jakes as alleged above, which were willful, intentional, and malicious, while subjects defended and each of them um, to liability. Okay, prayer for relief. Whew. So this is what they want. All right. Wherefore, plaintiff Bishop T.D. Jakes respectfully requests that the courts award him relief against defendant DUANE Youngbloods as follows: actual and compensatory damages exceeding 75,000, as well as interest, reasonable attorney fees, and costs as allowed by law, punitive damages as allowed by law, and such other and further relief as the court deems appropriate. All right. And they are requesting a jury trial demand. All right. Plaintiff demands a trial by jury for all claims and issues that are here in this. And this was dated October the 25th, which was yesterday. You know, I think that this is going to open up a dangerous door. If I'm giving my most humble opinion in this, right? And again, I'm just giving my humble opinion in this. I don't think this is going to do what they think it's going to do. I don't. And again, this is just my opinion. I don't think that this is going to do what they think it's going to do. I think that this is going to work in the reverse manner, in which y'all are getting ready to open up a whole lot of doors in regards to this. And again, it's just my opinion on this. Not saying that, Bishop Jakes should have paid him off and should have done I'm not saying that at all. But I really don't think this is going to be good for Bishop Jakes, nor do I think this is going to be good for DUANE Youngblood. And that's just my opinion. I don't think anybody going to win on top of this. Again, just my opinion on that. 75,000 in the men, you have to file, federal court. He can get way more than 75. This will never make it to court. TD Jakes has not suffered anything except the revealing of who he really is. He has made millions fooling with the church. Ooh, child. If this goes to court, I will eat an entire pizza. Not eat an entire pizza. But I agree. I think that I don't think this is gonna do what they think it's gonna do. I think that this is gonna open the door for other people to sound off. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Now, this is not taking away anything that DUANE Youngblood was convicted of or anything of that sort. But I just honestly believe these a lot of things have been covered up for so long, and I think that this is going to reveal all of those things. I do. I do. I absolutely do. And yeah, adults, kids. I, this is listen. This is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. And I'm gonna just say this, and I ain't gonna take it back. Don't call me Dr. Heavenly over here. Uh Again, I think this is gonna open doors that people are not ready to walk into. I do. I absolutely do. And we're just gonna keep up with it. I'm gonna keep up with every bit of this as I can. Okay. Shout out again to Tracy for making sure I'm we your peoples is well taken care of. I appreciate you. So is Jake's going to state the relationship with Youngblood was agreed versus abuse? I didn't hear Jake's deny having a relationship with him, only that he did. I can agree with you, Kia. That is another significant detail here as well. He did not deny, at least I didn't read where he denied knowing him. I did not see that. I did not see in this at all where he said he did not know him. He definitely knows him. He knows who he is. He knows exactly who he is. But my next question would be this. My next question would be this. So there are several co-conspirators. It says 1 through 10. Does that mean no, this was filed in Pennsylvania. Does that mean that there are 10 co-conspirators, or does that mean that there could be a possibility of 10 co-conspirators? Does anyone know about that? I probably can look it up, but um does anyone know what that I think you'll know. So does it mean that there's 10 co-conspirators, or it could be a possibility of 1 through 10? Or it's yes. Oh, Jesus. Well, whoa, whoa. Bishop. Bishop, I wish you a speedy recovery, Bishop, but ooh, there are 10 more folks. Some include the jail officers. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, okay, child. I ain't got no more pearls on my necklace, honey. I done snatched all of them off, honey. No, but I put it up on the screen. It says Dwayne Youngblood and does 1 through 10, but it mentions co-conspirator number 1. And I ain't gonna lie, the insinuation of co-conspirator number 1. I mean, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. It's an implication, though. There's no name there, but it implies specifically someone. I'm clutching my pearls and earrings. Girl, I ain't got no more pearls on my necklace. I done snatched them all off. Yep, that is the stance I feel Jakes is gearing up to take. That yes, he has engaged in these relationships, but they are not. I think some jail calls must have been recorded. All of his jail calls should have been recorded, ain't it? Okay, all of them should be recorded. I don't know, y'all. This is crazy, but y'all know I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Number one, because this is insane. Girl, wait a minute. I got to hold on. This ain't got nothing to do with Jake Sniff, y'all. This ain't got nothing to do with Jake Sniff. Why I just opened up my Instagram, right? I'm gonna gag y'all for y'all go for the day. Let me gag y'all real quick. I'm sitting over here and I opened up my Instagram and I'm just to read y'all this message that was sent to me this morning. This is a random one with that laughing face. My friend been lurking on your profile all week. Trust me. I'm also wondering how she found it, but she definitely likes you. she she's way too shy to make the first move. Trust me. And don't tell her I told you, but she been watching you. Girl, you better tell her. You better tell her I am not interested in no cootie cat, honey. I'm not. Me myself and I'm not interested in no cootie cat. So you tell her to go on and find somebody else to be staring at, looking at, baby, because I can't do nothing for her. I can't do. I can't do nothing for that lady. And if she look at my page, she'll understand that I can't do nothing for her. I can't. Mm-mm. Everybody know what I like around here. Okay, everybody know what I like around here. Girl, what is you talking about? Girl, you better tell your friend to go find somebody else. I can't help you or your friend. Period. However, Jake's is connected in the system. Agreed. I can agree with that. Can't wait for the Diddy and J. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you know, listen to the content creators out here, and you talk about church stuff. Y'all better hop on it. I'm just telling y'all, just hop on it, because this is going to be an ongoing story for the next few weeks. And I ain't fit to sit up here and be the one to lie to y'all. The last time Jakes was in the news, we made quite a bit of money. Wasn't that last December? Last November, December? Or was that this year? That may have been the beginning of this year. I can guarantee you all these YouTubers out here, or content creators out here who did commentary on Jakes when that last baby, we got banked. Okay. We got banked, baby. And I'm gonna be honest, Chef don't be like that. Kia, I mean, I can't do nothing with the women's. I can't do nothing with the women's. You send me a man over here, that's a different story. And please make sure he is of age. But I can't help Zoe or her friend. I can't. There's nothing I can do to help Zoe or her friend. It's nothing I can do to help Zoe or her friend. Something tells me the election will sway the outcome of a lot of popular cases. I agree, Julia. I agree. And just as I stated before, I feel like even with this Diddy stuff, I don't know. I feel like this orange man really is going to let a lot of people make it. I really do. Unfortunately, I just feel it. I feel it. I just feel it. And I've been saying that. I've just been saying that. You know, I've been saying that. Can somebody tell me? I wasn't keeping up yesterday. Was Diddy's third bail hearing yesterday? I think it was. What was the outcome? I'm assuming he. I mean, he didn't get bail, did he? Did Diddy or Jakes ever publicly support Kamala? Not that I know of. And something gagged me in this lawsuit. It actually said that Jakes was the spiritual advisor for the last three presidents. So um that would mean Biden, Trump, and Obama. So now we know where you stand. State where you stand. And now we know exactly where you stand. Bishop, we know where you stand. You ain't got to state it because we know. The judge said he will make his decision this week. Okay. Got it. I can remember if I thought the hearing was yesterday or not, but I don't know. Some tell me he gonna get out. Some tell me he gonna get out. Oh yeah, they did say right before the Thanksgiving holiday. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I won't gonna say it, but I sure was thinking it. But we know where he stand now. We know exactly where he stand. And unfortunately, people who did not disclose certain things or show support to other people, you already know where they at. You already know where they at. Cause I ain't seen him publicly show no support for really nobody, to be honest. Did y'all see Jamal's court case? Yeah, we're gonna go over it. We definitely gonna go over it. I got to. I got to. I got to. Okay. I have got to. Oh, okay. Shout out to y'all for giving me my little refund. It's about damn time. It's been 2 weeks. Because they quiet. Jake's stayed low key with the election. He did. He stayed very quiet. And I think that a lot of these people who were a lot of these preachers and stuff that was quiet. Oh yeah. I know where you stand. I know exactly where you stand. You didn't want to be in the see, Jakes was smart because he didn't want to be the topic of discussion because had that came out, people would have been discussing him, right? Look at what's his name? McClendon, Clarence McClendon. Uh 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 Stay where you stand. I mean, he did stay where he stood. He got some backlash for it. But a lot of these people, again, when you don't say nothing, you saying a lot. You really saying a lot. I think because we know he gave us Paula White. If I remember, Cassie's lawsuit was in November of 23. Yes, I believe that's correct. When Jakes said a woman can't tell him nothing, I knew where he stood too. Absolutely, absolutely. And again, you can see how these by the response of these people or how they don't respond to certain things. You know where they stand. Clarence was my former pastor. Don't judge. No judgment. No judgment. I guarantee it's probably a lot of them. Some probably don't want to say nothing, but he made it clear to Bishop Paul Morton that he has a congregation of 10,000 people, child. So, in other words, he ain't really need no Bishop Paul Morton, is what he said. So again, I try to be fair across the board because I don't really have no dog in these fights. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep it fair across the board um in regards to this. And I just feel two ways about it. I feel like this is not gonna be what they think it's gonna be. And I also believe that this is gonna kind of open the door for other people to come out and say things. If we thought 2024 was something, I really believe the beginning of 2025 is gonna grasp us. We're gonna be like, what the I'm just saying. He was lying through his teeth. He had 10K people. We left his you know what I said I was gonna do? I said I was gonna go back and pull up some of them old clips of Preachers of LA so people can see how that man really is. Cause he has shown us his true colors over the years, child. That Jamal court case is crazy. Yeah, we're gonna get into it because I haven't given my commentary on it, and I want to give my commentary on it because Jamal out here living his best life with his new wife. And I must say again, went to over there. She said, "Oh, that lady reminds me of a fifth Clark sister. Please do not offend my Clark sisters like that again. Please don't do that because she don't. She don't. Something about her, and I know she a preacher, and everybody say, "Oh, she can pray, she can preach, she can preach, she can preach." People who when folks say other people can preach, uh, I really just think y'all be saying that for people who can get it out and stuff like that. But girl, now she kind of offended me by saying she look like a fifth Clark sister. I ain't really like that. I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna really here for them. But Jamal out here taking photographs and stuff like that. They got, you know, the pictures that they taking look better than they wedding pictures. Can we start there? Cause y'all can't tell me that wedding was ugly. Okay. The flowers was ugly. That greenery that she had in her hand was ugly. His suit was ugly. Her pantsuit was ugly. It was ugly. It was ugly. Can we just It was just call a thing a thing. And now they sitting over here taking these new pictures that look better than your wedding pictures. Girl, where they do that at? I don't know. But that wedding the full wedding was ugly. It was so ugly, including the location. It was ugly. Can somebody just tell the truth? The wedding was ugly. It was. It was. It was. It just looked ugly. And I was like, when I saw them flowers, I was thinking, can somebody like what is going on here? These flowers look like funeral flowers. They look like they belong on top of a casket, or the side spray, that go beside the casket. These flowers are ugly. They're horrendous. Okay. And they do look like when you walk up in here, somebody died. Can we please? I hate to see what this December wedding gonna look like, because if you look at anything like this one, I can't take. Okay. I cannot take. And can somebody please explain to me? Is this hairstyle like okay? I ain't trying to talk about the lady a lot. 'Cause I don't really know her like that. But the finger waves on the side of the head, sometimes she have, longer hair on the other side, and then sometimes she have braids and stuff, and then the other side is finger waved. I really haven't seen a style like that. Uh yeah, I just think y'all got a lot. Hmm. Well, blessings to Jamal and that lady. What's that lady name? I don't like it, Julia. I can't stand the braids on one side and the finger wave on the other side. I can't take it. What's her name? What's her name? I don't Miss Bryant. There we go. Miss Bryant. Okay. Miss Bryant. I don't know. It's something about her. It's something about her. It's something about her. I don't know what it is, but it's something about her. Dr. Carrie Bryant. Oh, okay. Well, Sister Bryant, it's something about you I can't necessarily get with. I I don't know what it is. I can't. I ain't put my finger on it yet. Okay, but what I have put my finger on is y'all wedding pictures was ugly, and I just pray for this December wedding. Because the people say they don't really think, the people that know y'all say that they don't think that that wedding was last minute. I do. It's very much given last minute. Very much given. Let me go around here to the funeral parlor and see what kind of flowers they got and what I can get last minute. Because you can get stuff last minute for funerals before you can get stuff last minute for before you can get last minute stuff for a wedding. Baby, you went around there and asked them people at the funeral home what you can do. That's crazy. Mr. Ellison, someone said that. Somebody said she dated Marvin Sapp first, and Marvin and Jamal are good friends. You are absolutely correct about that. I heard that she had dated again. I ain't kept up with the woman. The people say she could really preach and stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. And said she could really pray a house down. I never knew nothing about the lady till I saw she got engaged to Jamal, and then I knew instantly once they got engaged. I said, "Oh, I get it. I get it." I think they were trying to rush because of his mom. No shade, no tea, but didn't his mom unfortunately pass away like right after they got engaged? Now, mad church disease, you sure right about that, because I will never forget about that woman that was stalking that man. I will never forget about that woman stalking that man. We ain't never heard from that lady since, y'all. Uh, I don't think it was last minute. They have another. See, I don't think the people realize this, but they have another actual wedding scheduled for December. This wedding came out of nowhere. At least I think it came out of nowhere. Okay, yeah, I thought she passed away. I think it was planned in anticipation of that. Oh, oh. You know why I think they did it? I'ma just tell the truth and shame the damn devil, cause y'all come up with all kind of excuses, but I'ma tell the truth and shame the doggone devil. I'm quite sure y'all probably hunching before y'all got married, but now you don't want nobody to talk about you at all. So you surely did went ahead and married that lady. That's just what I believe. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna call the thing a thing. I mean, now y'all can hunch with no conviction. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, not like Jamal ever had any conviction when he was hunching these people anyway, being a reverend. I'm just saying, maybe on her end, she was like, I need to be married before we hunch, before we tell the people we hunching, or before the world know we hunching. But I really think y'all was probably hunching before that. Can we just call a thing a thing? Oh, can we call a thing a thing? Um, Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. From my understanding, it wasn't that he was behind or anything on the child support, and it wasn't that he wasn't paying. I think the baby mama need to be slightly, she need to be a little bit more prepared. She's Beyonce's cousin. Who is? The Carrie lady? You talking about the queen of the internet, Beyonce? We talking about the same Beyonce? No, she wanted an increase. Oh, okay. Yeah, they say she needed some legal representation because the what she do got all that ain't it. I'm gonna do a full breakdown on it. I haven't seen all of it. I think I saw like maybe the first 20 minutes of it. I haven't seen all of it, so I'm gonna watch it. That's what it's giving me a shotgun with because you don't want to talk about y'all hunting. I mean, let's just call a thing a thing, child. Y'all just wanted the people to know that y'all was hunching on good grounds, okay? You was hunching because you married. Before that, you couldn't really be doing the hunching. Or you can be advertising the fact that you was lusting after this woman because y'all wasn't married. He does make $46,000 a month. Child, Jesus. Oh well, yeah, girl. They need to up it up a little bit. They need to up it up a little bit. But you know why I can't get with Jamal? I can't. I mean, and there's several people like Jamal that I can't really get with. But um, y'all go out here hunching and having these kids and stuff like that, and then you don't want to claim them, you don't want them around, you don't. And I'm not saying you're not paying your child support, but I don't like the way y'all carry on with this type of stuff. You're supposed to be a man of God. You're supposed to be a man of God. Why do y'all go around doing and treating kids like this? I don't understand it. Because regardless of how we feel, you should be as a father, as a man, you should be in that boy's life. Because ain't it a little boy? That is crazy to me. And I was just getting ready to ask that. Was any of the kids down to the wedding? I'm sure his older girls was his older girls there from Giselle. Because they all in college, ain't it? The twins and Angel. Angel is the oldest, right? Because you got the oldest girl, she been in college for what, 2 years, and then the twins been in college for a year. Yes, Giselle's and one of them. Oh wow. How do you preach about God's love and his children, but you are not taking care of your own? And that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. I will never understand that. I will never understand. Grace is the oldest, got it. So it's Grace, Angel, and Adore. Angel and Adore are the twins. Got it. But yeah, I agree with you, Mad Church Disease. It is beyond me how you get up and preach every Sunday, knowing good and well that I mean, you're doing the financial obligations. You're doing what you're obligated, what you have been ordered to do, right? But As a man of God, I cannot understand these. And Jamal is not the only one that got kids out here and you not doing what you need to do to take care of them. I will never get it. I will never get that. I will never get that. Yes, and another daughter from MD, but not Topaz and not the son. Tupaz. Tupaz. That's the baby name. Child. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. But again, I will never get it. I would never get it. You know, back growing up in the church, you know, men got sat down for stuff like this. You're not doing the right things that you need to do when it comes to your children. I grew up in a strict Kojic background, and they did not play that stuff. Okay, you want to go out here and do everything but take care of your child. You can't be in no ministry. You can't be doing none of that stuff. Yeah, we're gonna set you down and we're gonna restore you. And if you choose to still not be involved in your children's life, then we'll take matters into our own hands at that point. I don't understand these men. I don't get it. Jamal is what the Bible calls a false prophet. Larry exposed Jamal as a baby girl that he don't claim to, and I believe it. I believe it. Larry has been telling us for years about this man, and he's been telling us for years about these preachers that have children that they do not want to claim. What's the other preacher in Atlanta? Uh, William Murphy. hmm We dare not forget about William. We dare not forget about William Murphy. We dare not forget about William Murphy. Hmm. And then when we get on Bishop Jakes, we're going to start with your daughter and what she is around here doing to other children. Huh? Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah. So, you know, oh Jesus. You know, you really can't go down the rabbit hole with these preachers, with these so-called evangelists and prophets and all kind of stuff. Yeah, I can't. I can't. I just cannot. I pray that this wife encourages Jamal to take care of his children physically and not just monetarily. I doubt it. Jamal is headstrong. He gonna do what he want to do. He gonna do what he want to do. And I think she could say stuff till she blue in the face. And I'm also say this, and I ain't gonna take it back. I also, oh Jesus, let me not speak on the people's thing. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it because I want to speak on the people's marriage, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna see how it play out. We're gonna see how it play out because there's so much that needs to be addressed in the church that's overlooked. Okay, it's so much that's overlooked. Jamal has been in the limelight since he was 27. He is rich and doesn't care, and that's sad. And that's why I said, yeah, she ain't gonna be able to persuade him to do nothing. She's not gonna be able to persuade him to do a thing. Let's be clear about that. I went to a popular HBCU seminary, and you just can't make up what goes on. I believe it. I believe it 1000%. Well, I wanted to give y'all an update on DUANE Youngblood. We're gonna keep an eye on this, and I'm definitely gonna be coming back with my commentary. Also, if you guys have not checked out my commentary on Michelle Loud versus Bishop Jakes in the Jakes family, check that out. We did that live yesterday. And I actually have an update that I'm gonna put in a hot topics video where she comes out and says that she isn't wishing anything bad on people, but she is saying let God's will be done. And I agree with the masses as far as, you know, well, I disagree. I mean, with the masses saying that she shouldn't speak or she shouldn't have anything to say. When you're angry and you're a mother and you're angry that someone has taken your child, etc., you ain't really listening to what nobody else got to say about it. It goes. In other words, keep talking, baby. If that's what you feel is helping or whatever the case may be, you keep doing what you got to do to get your son back. So I believe one day that Jason is gonna come home to her. And on that note, I'm gonna end it with this Cora video. Here we go. Woo, 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 woo. Woo. This video will go down in history as girl. Sarah wasn't going nowhere. Sarah wasn't going nowhere. Sarah wasn't going nowhere. Yeah, but the mad church disease, it comes in with that manipulation tactic. You know what I'm saying? That manipulation and that and it's the manipulation of it all. It's the manipulation of it all. I think when it comes to that, legally, there's one way we can feel about it, and then on another hand, morally about it. You know what I mean? So anyway, y'all tell Cora to please go sit down somewhere. She did not have to do Sarah like that. Sarah wasn't going nowhere. I mean, Sarah wasn't going nowhere. She came out knocking Sarah down. Okay. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a good day. Please make sure you mash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Make sure to bang that notification bell, and I will be sure to check you out in the next video. Peace. Woof, 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 woof. Bye for real, y'all.